What's up, guys? Back at me here with the Fosters, Season 4, Episode 10, Collateral Damage. Okay, so this episode starts off with all the Fosters eating dinner, and basically Callie's like, hey, reason that she heard from Rita, and Reason's actor Mento, talking about good that Justine, saying about how good Justine and Bill died, but now they're trying to get a foster care reform bill on the ballot. Yeah. So Cal is like, maybe we should raise our own bill called Jack Law. And since Brandon going to be at Bayfest doing his reunion with Selma's little sister, the band, yeah. So Brandon gets attacked. So Brandon, after Cal done speaking, Brandon gets like a notification. He's like, OMG. He goes outside to discover that he's got into Juliard finally. And yeah, yeah. So and anyway, so yeah. So we see Matt and Mariana kissing with Matt, not with Matt, with Mariana, asleep, and Matt like, what's going on? And she's like, she's just a little tired, and he's like, and then Lena comes in, and they have to like pull apart, they have to like, pretend like they're not kissing, because no, no boy behind closed doors rule, and basically, I don't really have that rule, but anyway, yeah. So Lena's like, hey Matt, got good into Berkeley, and he's like, and she's like Berkeley. So yeah, so after that, Mariana takes another pill, which is kind of like, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so so yeah. Any and any anyway, yeah. Anyway, like Mariana gets a call from Nick at school saying that he wants to go see her, but he's just like, Mariana, you can't go see this guy. Mariana's like, and Mariana basically yells at him, so he's deciding to want to protect his sister, goes to Nick and is like, hey, Mariana's with Matt now, she doesn't want to see you anymore. You gotta leave her alone. So yeah. So at Bayfest, we get the final appearance of Sophia in the series, and yeah, Sophia sounds like having a different voice. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, we finally get the last appearance, appearance, appearance of Sophia for this series, and yeah, so yeah, so last episode, so Cal, so yeah, so anyway, Doug Harvey's here, and Doug Harvey's here. Yeah, for some reason, Doug Harvey's there. Like, is he there to spy on Callie? Because Callie kind of broke into his house and took that toothbrush, which gave to Aaron, and yeah, I don't know why he's there, but anyway, yeah. So Mariana's kind of freaking out about how Matt's gonna go to a robotics camp, but Matt revealed that Berkeley College of Music doesn't have a robotics program, and she's like, because she kind of looked up the wrong school. So yeah, so we get to see someone's little sister with Lou's last appearance in the series, because it kind of feels like Lou's whole arc was for her to get back, to date Brandon. After they broke up, it kind of didn't feel like she needed to be important to the show anymore. So that's why she had her one episode appearance in Wreckage, and then her last appearance here in Collateral Damage. So yeah. So speaking of Collateral Damage, that's the song that Brandon sings that he and Lou together, because their actual keyboardist is on vacation. So they brought Brandon in to replace him while that dude's on a little vacation. So while this is happening, Justina's people are doing the bill too, and are trying to get people to sign their bill. And she comes up to Cal, one of the people who works for Justina, is like, "Hey, Callie, opening up people's emails is like a federal offense. If you don't shut all of this down, she'll have you arrested." Bye bye, one episode character. Who cares what Justina thinks? So yeah. So anyway, Monty calls Lena about Brandon. Because when Lena says, so yeah. So anyway, Lena calls her about Brandon, and so yeah. So Lena basically tells Brandon that when that Tristan guy took the SATs, he flagged lower than Brandon, and he told the people about everything. So that means Brandon does not get to go to Juliard. Dang, poor Brandon. The one thing that he's doing for this season is took away from him, and yeah. So anyway, Brandon's obviously upset because who wouldn't be, knowing that their whole dream just got snatched away from them? Who wouldn't be upset that he lost Juliard? So yeah. So Callie meets this guy at Bayfest named Troy Johnson, who Martha's grandson, and he basically starts saying about how Kyle is a killer and how Callie's raising money for a killer, but Callie's like, no, Kyle's not a killer. Kyle Snow's not the killer. There's someone else who did it, and Callie's like, no, he was there. The judge said it was, so you better just let it go. So when Mariana starts seeing Nick everywhere, Jesus calls Nick and is like, "Hey, are you at Bayfest?" And he's like, "No." "Are you at Bayfest looking for Mariana?" And he's like, "No, I have an ankle bracelet, bro. What's going on?" So that means when Mariana sees Nick, it's just a hallucination of the 3 pills that she took for some reason, or it's that she's too sleepy, because Jesus reveals to Mariana that he told Nick that they weren't together anymore, and she basically flips out at him, saying that he's probably gonna be mad at her or something, and he's like, "It's gonna be all fine." She's like, "You don't know that." Mariana walks off. So Mariana just is like hanging by her lonesome when she sees Nick, but as I just said, it's not real Nick. It's a hallucination of Nick created by probably the 3 pills that she took, or something else, probably a sleep deprived. I don't know, because he's called Nick and is like, "Hey Nick, are you here looking for Mariana at Bayfest?" And he's like, "No, bro, I have an ankle bracelet." And he's like, and Mariana's like, "She's on the bath." And Nick's like, "What's going on?" And he's like, and he just hangs up or something. And she's taking her pills again. And he's like, "What do you mean again?" So yeah. So anyway, they tell staff, they're like, "Hey, Martin's been taking his ADHD pills. They've been taking his ADHD pills, and thinks Nick's here." And stuff's like, "Nick's here? Why would he be here?" And then she gets a call from one of the cops about Nick about Nick cutting off his ankle bracelet, and he goes to find Mariano. Mariano basically yells at him about how he made her very own bedroom, about how he was gonna do something to himself, and she's like, "I'm never gonna hurt you," and he's like, and she's like, "You can't just do that and want to be with me. I never want to see you again, Nick." And yeah, and then they're just sitting on the ground when Jesus comes in, not starts swinging, but he thinks that there's something going on, like Nick hurt Mariana, and Jesus just runs over, punches Nick, and it just gets into a brawl. Mariana's like, "Stop," and Seth slowly runs over when Nick punches Jesus in the forehead by accident, and Jesus falling over. So yeah, and then Callie gets in the car with Troy Johnson, and and yeah, and yeah, and Aaron, Aaron's like, Aaron's like, hey, there was someone, there's someone there's another person who did it besides Kyle. They can't ID him, and it was someone related to Martha, a man. Basically, Callie's in the car with the real murderer. And yeah, so anyway, there was also some thing in this episode about Joe Gray trying to get Steph the detective job, and also Joe Gray was saying about how he if he could go to AA, expose her whole Mike situation in season one. Don't know how he got that, but he does. But anyway, that wrapped up this episode of Foster. I really enjoyed this episode. Mariana, actually, Mariana is I yeah. Anyway, Jesus got punched in the face, so Jude and Noah went off to do something because Noah met Jude. So yeah, and Sophia's last appearance of this episode was being cornered by Doug Harvey, because Doug Harvey obviously thought she was Callie. And also, Callie and AJ got into a fight because AJ was saying about how he could about how he needs to stop making on his moves on Callie, how Aaron needs to make moves on Callie, and basically he says that he could break Aaron, and Callie's like, hey, Aaron, he's right, you need to stop pushing buttons, but AJ, you need to shut your mouth. So yeah, and and the AJ and Callie both confront Mike about what he said. AJ starts saying about AJ says about how Mike has a problem with Callie. Mike's like, hey, I have nothing wrong with Callie, but Mike, you basically told Steph that you thought that Brandon was Callie caused Brandon problems, but now you're saying you don't have a problem with Callie. Mike, you make no sense sometimes. And also, yeah, so Callie basically tells AJ that Aaron's trans and that she wouldn't stop that even if, that even though if KJ wasn't together, she would consider dating Aaron. And AJ's like, maybe you shouldn't maybe you shouldn't be that. Seeing AJ, breaking them up, probably. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe. We have a wonderful eve, morning, and I'll see you next up, Foster.